Hello, welcome back, third grade. Today we're rocking lesson 15. Let's start by reading the bottom, our goal for today, what we hope to accomplish by the end of this lesson. It says, solve word problems to determine perimeter with given side lengths. All right, let's dive right in. Please read number 1 with me. Mrs. Coslow puts a border around a 5-foot by 6-foot rectangular bulletin board. How many feet of border did Mrs. Coslow use? Okay, let's start with our sentence. So our question is, how many feet of border did Mrs. Coslow use? So our sentence will say, Mrs. Coslow uses blank feet of border. Now we need to figure out how much border she actually used. So I think maybe drawing a picture would be best so that we make sure that we use our read, draw, write. We've done the reading, we've done the writing. We want to use this process. So now we need to draw. So if this is the 5-foot side, this is the 6-foot side. 5 feet and 6 feet. That's not talking about the inside, right? We're talking about perimeter. So this is the border that we're talking about. Maybe it's a fancy, squiggly border. How many feet did she use? Remember last time we were together, well, not together, but last time you watched a math video, we did it 2 ways. We did the sum of the sides, so side length plus side length, plus side length, plus side length, and we did a multiplication equation. So in this case, what we could do is 2 times 6 plus 2 times 5, which would be the same as if we added 5 plus 5 and 6 plus 6, right? So either way, whatever way you like best, that's the way that you can solve this problem. But we need to come up with the same answer. So 2 times 6 is 12, and 2 times 5 is 10. If we add those together, we'll get 22. We can't just leave it at 22. We have to put our label on it, right? So we have 22 feet, and now we can fill in our blank. Mrs. Coslow uses 22 feet of border. Sweet. Let's move on to the next one. Excuse me. If you would, please read with me. Jason built a model of the Pentagon for a social studies project. He made each outside wall 33 centimeters long. What is the perimeter of Jason's model Pentagon? Do you remember how many sides a Pentagon has? Yeah, it has 5 sides. The Pentagon looks like this. It's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Ooh. But each outside wall was 33 centimeters. So this was 33, this is 33. They're all 33. So our task is to figure out the perimeter. So let's write our sentence. The perimeter of Jason's model Pentagon is blank, I'm talking about centimeters, right? Blank centimeters. Okay. So now we have to figure out the answer, right? So we can do, let's start with the sum. Let's add up all the sides. So you have 33 centimeters plus 33 centimeters plus 33 centimeters plus 33, oops, I only put 3 right here, 33 centimeters plus 33 centimeters. Another way to write this would be the number of sides, which is 5, times the length of each side, which is 33 centimeters, equals. So this is a little bit more complicated, right? But we know what 33 plus 33 is, and we might even know what 33 plus 33 plus 33 is, right? Because if we write it vertically, I'll write it right here. 33 plus 33 plus 33. Could you do all of these, just line up 5? Sure. Why not? I just like to chunk it. So 3, 6, 9, and 3, 6, 9. So 99, and then I have 2 more 33s to add. I have 2 more sides to add. And I know that 33 plus 33 is 66. So I'm just going to add my 66 down here. 9 plus 6, I'm going to write it small, is 15. 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Oops. So our perimeter is 165 centimeters. There we have it. We can fill in our blank. Look at that. Awesome. All right, let's move on to number 3. Please read with me. The Holmes family plants a rectangular 8-yard by 9-yard vegetable garden. How many yards of fencing do they need to put a fence around the garden? Excuse me. Got so used to saying yard. Do you know how many feet are in 1 yard? Doesn't really matter for this question, but just so that you know, a yard is 3 feet. Okay, so let us write our sentence to begin with. How many yards of fencing do they need to put fence around? They need blank yards of fencing. Okay, let's do a little drawing of what their garden might look like. So it's 8 yards by 9 yards. So if this is my 9 yards, this is my 8 yards. And because I know that side, I also know this side. 9 yards and 8 yards. So now we can do the math. We can figure it out. So first let's find the sum. So we're going to do 9 yards plus 8 yards plus 9 yards plus 8 yards. It's a rectangular. I don't know if I said that, but I just wanted to clear the air on how I knew this was a rectangle because it says rectangular. I'm sorry, I didn't touch on that. But we're talking about a rectangle with 4 sides. So the other way, I'm going to give you a moment, and I would like you to write a multiplication sentence to represent all these numbers. How would you write it? Might be a couple of different ways you might write that. Okay. So I think what I will do is I'm going to do 2 times 9 plus 2 times 8. So what we'll have is 2 times 9 is 18, and we'll add 2 times 8, which is 16, and then we're going to add these together. 8 plus 6 is 14, carry the 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, so we have 34. So the perimeter is going to be 34 yards. So now we can fill in our blank right here, 34. Awesome. All right, let's flipperoo and go on to the back. There we go. Will you please read this with me? It says, Marion paints a 5-pointed star on her bedroom wall. Each side of the star is 18 inches long. What is the perimeter of the star? Sorry, that's Stella drinking her water if you can hear it. She's quite noisy. Okay, So if each of these sides is 18 inches, we need to add all of those together, right? So how many sides are there? You count up the sides. I'm going to start writing the sentence. I'm going to write the perimeter of the star is blank inches. Okay, so here we have 18, here we have 18. How many sides does this thing have? Holy moly, this is a lot of painting she did. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 sides. So, write small. We're going to find the sum first. We're going to do 18 plus 18 plus 18 10 times. We're on 3, 4, 5, 6. I wrote 6 when I was saying 6. 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's the sum. We could also write, since it has 10 sides, we can multiply the number of sides by the length to find the perimeter. And what do you know about multiplying anything by 10? For example, if we were to multiply, I'm going to write up here, 8 by 10, you add a 0 to the end of 8. If you were to multiply 10 by 10, you would add a 0 to the end of 10. So this is actually pretty simple, even though that looks like a lot of work and those look like big numbers. All we have to do is put in a 0 on the end of 18 and we have our answer. So let's fill in our blank, 180 inches. All right, let's move on to the next one. Please read with me. The soccer team jogs around the outside of a soccer field twice to warm up. The rectangular field measures 60 yards by 100 yards. What is the total number of yards the team jogs? Okay, right now I can see something that a third grader might miss. So I'm just going to walk through my normal steps, but I want you to be on the lookout. There's something that a third grader might miss, and I don't want it to be you. I don't want you to miss it. Okay, let's begin by writing our sentence. Excuse me. The question we're answering, what is the total number of yards the team jogs? So we're going to write the total number of yards the team jogs is blank. Yards, I guess we already said yards, so we can leave yards off of that portion. Okay, so we read, we wrote, now we need to draw. So we have 60 yards by 100 yards. That's a lot of running this team's doing. And most of us should know, right, that a soccer field is a rectangle. So we shouldn't be curious. It's not going to be a circle. It's not going to be like a star. It's going to be a rectangle. So down here, we'll also write 100 yards. And over here, we'll write 60. So what is the perimeter? Let's figure that out. Let's first find the sum. So we'll add 100 plus 60 yards plus 100 yards plus 60 yards. There's our sum. We could also do 2 times 100 plus 2 times 60, right? So what are we going to find? If we add 2 times 100, which is Yes, 200. And 2 times 60, which is, yes, 120. We'll get 320. So the perimeter equals 320 yards. So now we can fill in our blank. I hope you're yelling at me saying, "Stop, Mrs. Brady." Because what have I not done? There's a word up here that should be screaming at you. It says, the soccer team jogs around the outside of a soccer field. What? Twice. Not one time. No. In soccer, you are a running machine. They're running around that thing twice. That's a lot of yards. So we need to double this in order to make it accurate, right? So I'm just going to put 320 on the bottom of this and add those together because that is going to be the total number of yards. It's a lot of running. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. 640 yards. And that's just the warm-up. Can you imagine? I wonder how many of you play soccer and if you do that much running. That's a lot. Okay. Nicely done. Let's move on to the last one. Please read with me. Troop 516 makes 3 triangular flags to carry at a parade. They sew ribbon around the outside edges of the flags. The flag's side lengths each measure 24 inches. How many inches of ribbon does the troop use? Okay, so let's first write our sentence. How many inches of ribbon the troop uses blank inches of ribbon. Okay, now we need to figure out, maybe we'll first, because they're trying to trick us again, aren't they? We need to find the perimeter of 3 flags. We don't even know 1 yet, but we need to find 3. So let's first find the perimeter of 1 triangular flag, and then we can add that to find the total, okay? So here's our little triangular flag. I'm trying to make these sides the same-ish length. So this side is 24, this side is 24, and this side is 24. So let's first write the sum. So 24 inches plus 24 inches plus 24 inches equals the perimeter. We can also do 3 times 24, right? There are 3 sides times the length of each side is the perimeter. So the perimeter equals what? 24 plus 24 is what? Yeah, 24 plus 24 is 48. So I'm going to start with 48, and then I'm going to add another 24 to that. 4 plus 8 is 12. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Okay, so the perimeter of 1 flag, 1 triangular flag, is 72 inches. 72 inches. I don't know why I put 4. 72 inches. But how many are there? There are 3. So let's add 72 together 3 times to figure out the total amount of ribbon that they'll need. Go ahead and solve that. Do that math on your own. Did you get the same as me? The troop uses 216 inches of ribbon. Just put math on that, inches. And there you have it. Look what we did. We solved word problems to determine perimeter with given side lengths. Great job today, 3rd grade. Have a fabulous rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the flip.